I always explain to my friends and family the easiest way is I'm the city's record keeper / historian.
If it wasn't for the city clerk, I would lose my way frequently.
There's a lot of balls in the air that we're juggling at all the times. The city council is like who I work for, but also like my hands are in every department because everyone brings stuff to me. Each day is different. You never know what's going to happen.
Welcome to Leading Iowa, Good Government in Iowa Cities. I'm your host, Dave Martin. On this show, our guest is Shelby Hagen, and she's the city clerk for Bondurant in Iowa. And of course, always with me is my co-host, the mayor of Dubuque, and the president of the Iowa League of Cities, Brad Cavanagh. Welcome, everybody.
Here we are again.
Hello.
So you're a city clerk.
Yes.
You're the first city clerk we've talked to. Tell everybody and me, what does a city clerk do?
Yeah. So I always explain to my friends and family the easiest way is I'm the city's record keeper / historian. So I keep all the official documents for the city.
And is that a hard job?
It can be.
Yeah, how?
So Bondurant is growing like crazy and we have tons of projects going on. So those projects can be a couple months or they could be a couple years, and just keeping track of everything and keeping everything in one place that's easy to retrieve if, we get a public records request or some city staff member needs something. But there's a lot of balls in the air that we're juggling at all the times.
And I'm going to add to this one to answer
Please.
Your question more directly. The question was, is that a hard job? The answer is yes.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
I challenge you to talk to any mayor throughout the state of Iowa and ask them who their one position is that they work with the most and the person they see the most, and they're going to tell you it's the city clerk.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend a lot of time. If it wasn't for the city clerk, I would lose my way frequently because I need to be able to make sure that we're not only just following the basic rules of what a meeting is and the rules of order and all the things you have to do. So keeping the whole meeting on track, but then also being able to track that with all the public input that comes in, all the ways that needs to be recorded, all the laws that need to be followed to be able to put that in. It sounds like super boring stuff sometimes when you just talk about it out loud, but honestly, it's some of the most important work that gets done in city government in the state of Iowa.
Yeah.
So it's one of the reasons I'm excited to have you here talking with us.
Yes. Lots of hats.
Lots of hats. Everyone knows what the mayor does, or everyone thinks they know what the mayor does. Everyone thinks, no offense, Mr. Mayor. Everyone thinks they know what the city council does. What would you like people to know about what the city clerk does?
The city clerk, just like I said, we keep track of all the official records for the city to make sure that, we're staying on track with all the recent laws, carrying out the action items from the city council meeting, making sure things are getting published. Basically just the city council is like who I work for, but also like my hands are in every department because everyone brings stuff to me.
Yeah, and the other thing about that too is that, it really is, you're the main connection between what the city government does and the public. Yeah. So they see all the things that get done because of what the city clerk's work is. So if it wasn't for the city clerk, you wouldn't have this ability to be able to know what's happening on a regular basis in all these different cities.
Yeah. What I'd like you to do is sort of paint a picture for citizens to understand how government works and how you work in government. And, I think something we talked about a little bit before we turn the mics on, you're not here for votes, for fame, for front page glory. Why do you do this job?
I truly love living and working in Bondurant. Like, it's fun to drive down the road and be like, I had a hand in that big project that we were doing, and being able to show my kids, like, that wasn't there before, but now it is, and I had a hand in that. So it's really fun to be able to live where I work and be a part of that and be a part of our growing community. And
And how do you interact with, you said you have your hands, I think, in every department. Yeah. And how do you interact with all those people and keep it together, I guess?
And keep it together.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a great staff. We are very fortunate in Bondurant with our council and our mayor and our staff. They're just really great, and we have a great synergy. And I also serve as president for the chamber board of directors. So I have my hand in the business community as well. So it's just, Bondurant's just super unique where everybody collaborates and everyone gets along, and it's awesome.
You said that you work for the city council. What do you do when someone from the city council comes with you with something and you think, oh no. Bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to execute this. What were you thinking? That happens, right?
Not a lot in Bondurant, actually, but I send them to Marquita. We're like, she's next door.
Okay.
So.
And Marquita is?
Our city administrator.
Okay. So they were able to smooth over the problem.
Yeah, she takes care of it. She has a solution for every problem. She's amazing.
What motivated you to do this? I mean, you were nobody wakes up in high school and says, I want to be a city clerk.
I know. I fell into it. So I graduated when the economy was not great. So there weren't a lot of jobs out there. Worked for a chiropractor for a couple of years, and then administrative assistant came open at the city. And my mom worked for the state of Iowa for years. So IPERS was just drilled into me for years. So I was like, I need a job. I'm almost 26 years old. I'm going to be rolling off the gravy train of health insurance on my parents. Okay. And I went for it, and I ended up liking it and learning a lot. And I didn't realize all the things that go into city government. And it was just really interesting. And each day is different. You never know what's going to happen. And I just kind of went up the ladder, I guess, per se. And I became recreation coordinator for a little bit, which was fun, and had kids. And that schedule doesn't always pan out. And city clerk position came open, and I went for it.
And is there any special training one needs to be a city clerk?
Yes. You kind of learn on the job. You're kind of like thrown to the wolves. But we have trainings. I go to IMFOA. I actually serve on the board for IMFOA, and that is twice a year.
Which stands for?
Iowa Municipal Officers Finance Association. No. So yeah,
I think it's the Finance Officers Association.
We have so many acronyms in city government. Like I don't even know.
Off the tongue, don't they? Yeah.
So when people are like, "Oh, what's that stand for?" I'm like, I don't even remember anymore.
So now that you're a senior and well-regarded city manager in the state of Iowa, what do you tell new city managers?
Well, I also when we go back to training, I always still go to MPI and MPA at Iowa State, and I also instruct a class at MPI.
What do you teach?
Records retention.
And tell me the one most important thing about records retention that city clerks should know.
Yes. So there's lots of laws that we have to follow, and you have to keep documents, and they each have a value. So you can keep them for a certain amount of time, and then you can destroy them per Iowa code.
How's your law degree coming?
My law degree? Never.
No?
It's pretty similar though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that's really interesting when when we're interacting during our meetings a lot of the time, or even in meetings that aren't the public ones, when you're talking to your city clerk and your city attorney and they're right next to each other, sometimes the roles are interchangeable and the things that you're talking about and the things you're working on, but there are some pretty specific things. I have another question that's more focused on you, and then I want you to talk about Bondurant, because you seem really excited about it, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about what's going on in Bondurant. But the question is, you're a public servant, and you're a public servant in the purest sense of the term, because you do the work every single day and you do it for your city. What's it like in that role? I mean, I'd like to hear you talk about what it is like to be a public servant doing this work on a regular basis, and then being able to see that you have a hand in all these different things.
Some days, like any job, some days are normal and they drag and whatever. It's just your normal day to day, and then some things you do things and it's exciting, and sometimes it's only exciting to you because you're like, my friends are like, that doesn't sound exciting at all. So back to the records retention, I created this system that a lot of clerks could follow and adopt for their own city, because we all have to follow the same rules and laws. And I created a filing system, and I'm digitizing everything, and so that way we have one official record, and it's easy to retrieve, and I know how long I should keep it and all the things that go with that. That's exciting to me that I created something that other cities can adopt. And I know some people are like, well, that's really boring, but
no, I think it's actually super cool.
Yeah.
Because that is great to be able to share it. And that's the reason we come together at something like this for the League of Cities is to be able to share those good ideas.
Yeah.
So tell us more about Bondurant. I mean, what are, you're talking about these exciting things that you've been a part of. What are some of the things that are going on there?
We have a lot going on. So when I first started, there was a population of 3,860, and we are doing a special census right now, and it's probably close to over 10,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's insane. The economic growth is insane. We have a lot of exciting projects coming down the pipeline, and a lot of businesses that want to be in Bondurant because a lot of people want to be in Bondurant. And our council's really good about being focused. Everyone likes that small town feel or whatever. So we're really focused on making it a hometown feel. Like, we have really good community involvement, lots of fun clubs that do stuff. We have annual events. We just have a lot of active residents, and
What do you think the draw is? I mean, why grow? How have you grown that fast? What is it that's drawing people to Bondurant?
Yeah, we used to be a bedroom community solely, and it's crazy to see that we're able to get groceries in Bondurant now, and we have a coffee shop and places to eat. I really think our location is the key of that, because we're so close to the metro, but we're like just far enough out that you feel like kind of removed from big city life, but you're still close to all the amenities. I mean, that's why me and my husband chose to live there too.
Yeah, you're like the biggest little city in the metro area is really what it is. It's really kind of interesting.
We're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that when friends say to you, what was your day like? You say, oh, I invented a new sanitation form. They don't get as excited about that as you.
No, they don't. I mean,
what's wrong with them?
They get excited about, the city park is being revamped and we're going to get a splash pad and a new basketball court and a new playground and stuff like that. They're like, hey, what businesses are coming to town? Like, I can't tell you that yet.
Wait till the permits all go through. What do you tell new city clerks about the job that they've just inherited or, got appointed to? What do you tell them?
Network as much as possible, because like you said, coming to these and like being able to bounce ideas off of each other and like educate each other and sometimes just lean on each other, like listen to this crazy story that happened to us with this resident and how would you handle it? I mean, having the network is huge. That would be my biggest thing I would tell a city clerk, a new one.
That sounds like a way to get good government.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We're striving for good government every day, right?
Yes.
In Bondurant.
All
right. Well, tell me what is it that makes Bondurant a unique Iowa city?
Like I said before, it's our residents are just so involved, and they and our council is great, our mayor's great, we have great city staff. I just feel like we have this really good synergy right now that we're all moving in the right direction and in the same direction, and that wasn't always the case. I feel like back in the day, and it's just a really great place to be.
What changes have you seen in your 9 years as city clerk? 17 years in city government.
Transforming into the digital age, and also, all the things with digital and Zooming meetings. Okay. Like the pandemic kind of like shot everything 20 years forward.
Yeah.
So like dealing with hybrid meetings and stuff like that. And
technology.
So like I said, technology,
is really...
and also I'm a big advocate. Like, there's resources, there's technology. Let's use it. If it makes my life easier and other people's lives easier, we can be more efficient. Let's do it.
Yeah. Are you the one?
I like change.
Are you the one everybody comes to and they say, why won't this work right?
Yes. That's one of those hats. All other duties as assigned. They're like, hey, go fix that.
That applies to city clerks more than it applies to a lot of other positions too, doesn't it? Because things, I know our city clerk sits right at the entrance of City Hall. So they're the desk that everybody stops at, even though they aren't necessarily the information desk. So it's something, is that the same way it is in Bondurant? Is it kind of...
I don't have to sit up front anymore, which is great. But yes, you used to have to know everything. So like from, hey, how much is a compost-it sticker, to extra large item stickers, to utility bill rates and all the things in between. So or right-of-way permits, or stuff that you wouldn't think a city clerk would have to deal with, or anyone in government, like just random stuff.
Mm-hmm. Other duties as assigned, as you say.
Yeah.
So what does good government look like in Bondurant?
I feel like we're very transparent in Bondurant. I also implemented agenda management, and we have all of our stuff in council packets, and Marquita brought in agenda statements that gives all the background information to every action item. And I just feel like we're a very transparent, efficient city.
What are you most proud of in your 9 years as city clerk? What are you most proud of that you've done?
I would say
what's the thing you point out to your kids when you're driving through town?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that 2 questions?
Well, yeah, because
Okay.
I feel like my records retention project is like a huge thing. Obviously, the residents don't see that. We put in an underpass under Highway 65. That was like, I felt like years away when I first started, and that's cool to see that it actually there's
so
that
do you
connection.
sometimes go out of your way just to take the underpass just because you know you did it?
No, but I do drive over a lot. And I'm like,
Okay.
hey, I had a hand in that writing grants for that.
Okay.
So that's another, hat that I have worn where you write grants to get projects done.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite place in Bondurant?
My favorite place
Yeah.
in Bondurant. Oh gosh.
We already covered the underpass, so you can't say that.
Yeah. My favorite place. I mean, Lake Patoka is really great. Our depot, our trailhead area is really great. It's a great gathering place. We do a lot of community events up there, and it's close to downtown. There's a nice walkway to downtown, and the Bondurant Emergency Services building's right there, but it will be revamped to a different building because we're getting ready to break ground on our new fire station.
All right, so lots going on.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, Shelby Hagen, the city clerk for Bondurant. I know you were very excited about being here.
Yeah.
You couldn't wait.
I couldn't wait.
You even showed up early for the talk, so thanks for that. Thanks for having us, as always. Thanks to my co-host, Brad Cavanagh, the president of the Iowa League of Cities and the mayor of Dubuque. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's our show. Thanks for listening. Join us again right here for the next episode of Leading Iowa, Good Government in Iowa Cities. Make sure you like us and share us with your friends. Follow us on Facebook. Leading Iowa is a Valley Park production in association with the Iowa League of Cities. The show is executive produced by Katie Wheeler and Brad Cavanagh for the Iowa League of Cities. Jim Ludlow, Dave Martin, that's me, and David Snyder are executive producers for Valley Park Productions. Our show is edited and produced by Jason Stershic.